This is, I think, third or fourth in the series of faculty development programs organized by SPM College. So a lot of participants has taken advantage of these faculty programs in teaching learning process as well as in their promotional activities. So in that series, we are again here, uh, in which Dr. Anju Jain of Commerce Department took a strong initiative to to uh, organize this event, in which a lot of participants will be benefiting. So thank you so much, Anju ma'am, for your initiative and uh, initiation that this program is going on. And thank you so much for inviting me in this session. So I'm sharing my screen to the participants. Is it visible to all?
Thank you so much, Virendra. You are so sincere and you are so down to earth कि आपके इतना number of books और number of literary work आपके credit होने के बाद भी you are so sincere and humble. Thank you so much.
Screen visible है मैम?
हाँ हाँ. Yes.
So as we can see, the topic of good afternoon participants who have joined this session today. As we can see, and you are aware about this faculty development program, which has been focused on the global economy, finance, industry, and business, emerging trends and challenges. So in this time where a lot of trade and commercial activities are at boom, so this topic is too much significant, in which we can have better understanding how the things are going on, how economic activities, commercial activities are taking place in the global scenario. As this is very important aspect. Economy is very core to our transactions in life. So we have a lot of social, political, psychological activities, but economical activity also has a big impact on our life. So that way, we are presenting here the topic that is related to work-life balance in emerging economy. So we will be talking some, psychological status of individuals, of community, of organizations in the status, in the scenario of economy. So first of all, I would just try to discuss what is emerging economy. So this term is very core to say that what kind of status runs in developing countries. Like we have a great, drift between developed countries and developing countries. So it also can be taken into account when it comes to economy. So like developing and developed countries have a big difference in terms of their GDP, in terms of their infrastructure, in terms of their trade and businesses. So the size of the economy differs in terms of their revenue generations, their uh, fiscal earning, and lot of things. So when we use the term emerging economy, it is specific to developing countries economy. So in this process of economy, we can see how we become engaged with global economy, because initially the economies are underdeveloped. Like developing countries have a narrow level of economy, so they try to engage themselves with the global economy, so their engagement becomes broader. And it can also be seen that a kind of transition takes place from low to high income. Means when you are shifting to broader economy, bigger economy, so definitely level of income will be increased. So it is again a transition from lower to higher income group. And we can see from historical perspective that how economy takes place, how economy takes shape from pre-industrial to modern industrial economy. Like economy has taken a developmental perspective, in which you can see a lot of differences have been occurred in terms of industrial and economic activity. And at personal level, you can also see at individual level, at human aspects, you can see our standard of living is also changed. Like initially when there was pre-industrial society, so level of standard was different. But now when we are living in modern, well-developed society, well-developed economy, so definitely our living standard is being changed. So taking the step further, the concept of emerging economy, I would like to discuss about the economy, basics of economy. Like we have transformed ourselves from the traditional to modern society, from local to global society. Initially, we had a traditional level of economy where our transaction system was entirely different from today's. But modern system of economy is completely different. It completely overhauled from the previous situations. Initially, we were very much local in dealing with the businesses, in dealing with the transactions. But nowadays, when the economy has taken a global shape, our system of transaction has completely changed. Like initially, we had barter system in which the commodity was exchanged in terms of some other commodities. Like if we have wheat in our house and we need rice, so wheat can be transacted, exchanged from other person who is having the rice. And similarly, some other mode of transactions were taking place, but initially it was barter system. So initially, the monetary system was not developed. So barter system was used as a mode of economical transactions. So as the monetary system developed, so definitely the pattern of economical commercial transaction changed. And initially, you can see there were a very small, say, small level of industries were there. But as we become global, our local level of transaction, local of businesses were synchronized with the global context. So the shape of industries were also taking shape into larger industries. And initially, we were self-reliant in doing economical or commercial activities. We were not so much broader like today's. So it was a transaction as machine developed, industrial revolution came. So we initially transformed from self-reliant to mechanical reliance. Our dependency on machine was increased. And nowadays we can see that we are taking shape into automation. So a lot of our activities are being regulated by, uh, uh, machines or artificial intelligence or robots. So again, it also impacts our trade and commerce because a lot of systematic changes are taking place at different setups. And as the sizes of economy is becoming larger, as you can take example of India, India is a growing economy and its GDP size is very bigger. So India, China, Singapore, and other emerging economy has a big role in have a big share actually. And you can also see how the things are changing. Initially, there were no banks, but nowadays we have well developed variety of banks and investment prospects. So why we are discussing these things? Because these all steps has a big take on our behavior. And again, if we are doing businesses, we are doing some jobs, we also have to keep records and filing. Even as an individual, if you are doing business or not doing business, again, you have to maintain the records of monetary transactions and you have to file income tax returns. Even if you are doing agriculture, sometimes it is suggested that every person should file the income tax return. And again, this context, we can also see a lot of fraudulent and security concerns are there. If there is money, so money has been, a source of rivalry. Snatching Siri money knows many things. And a lot of, security concerns are there. If you are making investment, so you will always be concerned about the security of your investment. As in the online transactions, lot of fraudulent activities can be observed. So it again, put a concern over our mind. Like nowadays, we are living in a global culture, which is a modern and industrialized society. So nature of transaction is changed, and again model of business has taken a different shape. Like we are working, we are living in a network marketing, franchisee, and different kind of malls culture. So our behavior is also entirely changed from the previous setup, and we are also living in a competitive market. So those who are doing business, those who are doing commercial activities, they have to face the heat of competition. So they have to keep themselves ready for making changes according to the demand of the global uh, trend. And again, as media has taken a big role in changing our mind and attitude. So the similarly, it has also has a great impact on customer orientation. What kind of products we will purchase? It is highly dominated. What kind of advertisement we are watching? Because advertisement leads to some trends, and it's a human tendency to follow the trend which is going on in the world. Like even it may be in the fashion, in the lifestyle, and from other perspective. uh, as it was well understood how economy took shape from traditional to modern and became local to global. Now I am shifting my attention from what kind of changes are taking place in the nature of services. Like initially, we have to go to shop to purchase the items. But now how the trend is changed, services are available at our doorsteps. And service provider comes to us to provide their services. Like you can see, medical services are available. Suppose in this corona times and in normal days, if you have to take any diagnostic test, blood test, so sample collection is easily done at your door, home service. And some doctors also provide their services at home. A lot of consultancy and engineering services are also available at the phone calls. And again, in this time of COVID, teaching facilities has also been prescribed, has been provided by teachers to their students just through online mode. So students were also have been seen as a customer. And even you can see how the things had changed. Apart from Corona, teaching style, teaching pattern, and teaching material have also changed just because on the basis of demand. Like initially we had traditional school system, traditional colleges, traditional universities, but now what we are having? We are having a lot of YouTube channels, educational channels, educational houses who are providing online certificate courses, even diploma courses. So the nature of services has taken a different shape. And we can also see we are working an environment where working hour has been expanded. Initially, we had local connectivity to do the job. People were people opted to do the job to their nearby locations. But nowadays, you can see a lot of commutations are taking place. So travel hassles are also seen there while in the work environment. If you have to go to your job setting, so you have to commute from your home to some workplace. And again, customer satisfaction is very much important in this modern economy. Only services are not important, but customer satisfaction at prime focus. You can see if you go for servicing your car or you purchase any item at the mall, so there is a window on the screen which asks for how much satisfied you were with the service provider. You have to rate themselves, and their increment, their incentives are decided by the rating you provide to them. And again, initially we don't have such skilled, efficient laborers or workers. But nowadays, skill is also very important. Only skilled workforce gets more, salary, more incentives, and more value. So the whole scenario is already changed. And from this perspective, as we discussed in the change of nature of services in terms of economy, now I am shifting my talk on the psychological aspects of work-life balance. Why my slide is not- Yes. So as the topic of this talk was work-life balance in emerging economy. So emerging economy is setting an agenda, setting a platform where work-life matters a lot. So we are putting work-life continuum here, where we can see it is very much required to have a balancing approach while dealing with work and life. Because the work-life balance is simply not restricted to people who are having children or partner, but life outside the work can range from childcare to housework to sport, leisure activities, as well as the self-development. So how we can understand what work-life balance means to us? Only achieving work-life balance is essential in understanding the term, which we can see that how the opportunity are given to us to have some control over when, where, and how we work. Suppose you are working in an atmosphere where you are not given any freedom to exercise any initiative, exercise any work, so your thought processes are hampered. You fail to take any initiative if a lot of controls are there. So that way it is very essential that how much satisfaction you are getting from your work or what kind of opportunities are given to you for betterment. So we do perform better when such kind of liberty and freedom is given to us in the work setting. So that way we also enjoy the process of being in the business, being in the work setting, because our interest is enhanced and our motivation is also increased in the organization where we are working. So, and also our commitment is escalated if such kind of opportunities are given to us. And we can also see here that how media and advertising is playing a big role. Like it increases the pressure on people to perform, be successful, be happy, and have some material possessions. Initially, people were limited in their activities, but now, as we have internet connections, telecommunications, and a lot of media platforms are there. So, by looking those, visuals, talks, interactions, and workshop and other things, this also makes us motivated to be like others who are doing well, and also getting more and more out of businesses, out of transactions, out of work setting. Like initially, we were satisfied in a very small amount of salary, in small houses, in a small vehicle, but now people are not satisfied with any small amount of anything. They want more and more. So they are trying to get more and more out of the money. As I would like to mention, an expert's advice, the Barbara Pocock, who calls this advertisement equal spending cycle. Means spending means more work, and more work means less family time. Less family time leads to guilt, and it leads to spending in a never-ending cycle. Suppose you watch any advertisement, you will be impinged to buy the product, even if you have uh, suppose if you have any product and that is outdated, new trend is coming, so you will go to market and invest more and more, and this cycle will never end. So this is a cycle where spending is done in great amount. So if you are spending much, it means you are needed to have more and more money. So your work involvement will be increased. If you are giving too much time in work setting, so definitely your life will be affected. So that's why work-life balance is needed to keep a check. And it is seen that how demands are increasing in job setting and workplace. So, and it creates difficulty in finding the time for non-work related responsibilities. Suppose we are much into the work setting, we are investing our huge amount of time at workplace. So definitely some time, our time is being compromised, which can be given to our family members, to our personal well-being, to home chorus activities, to society and community related work. So our interaction with others is also important because as a human, we have a chain of association, chain of relationships. So only work is a part of life, and there are so many parts of our life. So if you are investing too much amount in any single setting, so definitely other settings, other chains of life will be affected. So that way, as in today's context, in today's modern and technical upgraded environment, we face a lot of challenges in terms of demands at the job scenario. Like suppose job demands more skills and one skill is outdated after some time. So you have to recapture those new skills. You have to relearn those skills to be in the job. So that way you are constantly giving extra time to sustain in the job. So that way other aspects of your life is getting affected. And ultimately it impacts our health, family, as well as the relationships. Right. And what other aspects of human implies can be observed that what happens actually. Sometimes we fail to treat implies as a human, as a resource. We try to we focuses on mechanical aspects of working. Humans are treated as machine. Like certain amount of task is given to the person, and they are asked to perform quickly as they can. We we should note down that we are not a machine. We are just a human because machine runs on the commands, but humans have a different chain of reactions. So we should treat implies as a human, as a resource, and we should keep a better track to make them a better human resource. Uh, in terms of human resource, I would like to mention Taylor and Mayo. Taylor has given scientific management theory, and it was very much revolutionary in industrial revolution, where the production was highly increased after the implementation of Taylor's scientific management theory. But what actually happened that the employees were treated as machine. The piece rate system was applied that you have to make this much piece in this time, and then you will earn this much money. So freedom was curtailed, and the aspects of human resource was compromised. So Mayo theory came in contrast, and much human relations was much valued in Mayo's theory. So, and other theories are also there which highlighted the importance of human resource in industrial era. So I would like to hear discuss what are the aspects of work-life balance. Like work is one thing, life is another thing, but there is no such division. Means they runs on continuum. Work-life, that's why we are talking about work-life continuum as a balancing platform. Because work is part of life. Work is not life, but it is part of life. So if work is involved, so definitely rewards, challenges, and the sense of achievements are associated with work. Because as an integral part of life. We are living in those circumstances where the money is generated, promotions are given, and some incentives are provided, some prestige and status is uplifted. So these kind of things also influence our life circumstances. If we are in the workplace, so we definitely want some upliftment, so it comes through these rewards and achievements. So in this context, it is much needed to have a successful management of both work and life. And it can be done not from our side only, but the organization itself can provide a better opportunity to manage these work-life balances. So how work-life balance can be seen? It also affects work relations. Means if work-life is not balanced, so our work relations will be affected. Suppose you have conflict with your partner, with your kids, so it may also may reflect in work setting. Might be you could not you may your performance may suffer just because you had a conflict at your home, and vice versa. It can also be seen if your boss has scolded you in work setting, so your family relations may get affected. You may transfer your anger, aggression to your kids or to your spouse. So that way, work as well as home relations may get affected just because there is imbalance between work and life. And nowadays in modern times, a lot of circumstantial changes are being observed. Like from workload perspective, we can see that a lot of workload has been enhanced. So there, how does workload affects actually? Not only in terms of performance, but also in terms of satisfaction and commitment. Because when we talk about organization, we talk about job satisfaction and organizational efficiency. So if workload is increased, if work relations are affected, so definitely those organizational commitment, organizational efficiency will be affected negatively. There is a report given by London School of Economics, which suggests that over a quarter of men and 29% of women reported that their jobs left them feeling exhausted most of the time. It means there is something problematic in the system which creates such kind of dissatisfaction or exhaustion. Means they are not being given uh, appropriate conditions or appropriate opportunities. That's why they are feeling exhausted in their work setting. And you can also see, it can also be seen that in modern system, the nature of job has already been shifted. The types of job also demand different types of work shift. Means picking one job and switching to another job. These kind of work shift can be seen. And working hours are also, flexible, not exactly flexible, but you can say like day-night shift, like different call centers or customer care services are provided 24 into 7. So definitely there is a need of employees of the personnel who will provide those services 24 into 7. So it also affect our biological system. Like we have to call center personnel have to go in night shifts. So it again create work-life balancing problem. And also the personnel working in organizations faces a lot of difficulty in dealing with the informations. In current information technology era, we are living in the information age. So there are too much information that again create overburden at our cognitive system, because you can see we have to reply from different modalities. We receive phone calls, WhatsApp messages, email, and sometimes by physical presence, through writing mode. So a lot of multimodal transactions are being made for a similar kind of uh, task. So we are getting overloaded by these circumstances. And one more aspects I would like to discuss, that in the time of technological advancement, we have a lot of technical upgradation in different system in communication and communication devices and all mode of activities which are playing role in organizational functioning. We can see we have different levels of employees in the organization. So generational differences can also be seen. Like older people find difficulty in making adjustment with the new developed technology. If we go to bank, we can find some uh, old people, old personnel, who try to count note at least 5 to 6 times. Means if you get new generation, they will easily quick run in the machine, and counted note suggested by the machine they will hand over to you, the customer. But old people are not, have not completely adjusted in the system. So it completely create a new kind of stress, new kind of burden to them to adopt with the new changes taking place. And also in current context, because a lot of business transactions have taken a shape, a lot of business organizations are being run. So the people and employees are turning over from one organization to another organization. So if you are in the same organization for a long time, you have a separate, fixed kind of work-life balance. But when you switch multiple times the organization, every 6 months, 1 year, so you have to change a lot of locations, home, resident, kids schooling, and other aspects. So turnover has also a big role, big toll on our human work-life balance. So how it affects our uh, physiology or psychology? Means if we are talking about work-life balance, so how it really affects us? So we can see at personal level, our life is based on some circadian rhythm. Like we have a sleeping pattern. Suppose if there is a darkness in the room, so our body adapt that it is time to sleep. But the circumstances are changing. We are living in a high volatility light. So and the working culture is shifting from day to night, night to day. So our circadian rhythm is badly affected, and it demands for biological and physiological adaptation. You can see the person who travel from one country to another country, from eastern to western or western to eastern, they have to face jet lags for a time being. So that's just because circadian rhythm is highly affected by these kind of changes, and these changes needs adaptation. So similarly, it also affects our life. Means work circumstances affects our life negatively if they are not taken proper care. And what is more important to discuss here, like self is a cognitive structure, what actually is happening, that we are living with restricted self. In today's world, we are much highlighting our achievement, our orientation for money, our indulgence in the work. But what actually we are missing? We are failing to explore ourselves. We are lacking in exploring the self. We must, try to explore what actually we are. What is our choices? What are our interests? What are our hobbies? So we are missing in those part. Just we are in the cat race to get more and more, much more indulgence in the work is your life is compromised by these kind of circumstances. It is just because money earning has become our primary goal. If you are running after money, so your life will be compromised. So we have to make balance between work and life. Like all those factors will be discussed, switching from one organization to another organization. Sometimes it is just made for making more money, making more salary, but it has a toll on our life if we practice such kind of things. And what is it's very sensitive topic in the organization or in any setting, in family setting also. Gender has a big role. So gender discrimination, gender differentiation is very obvious in our society, especially if we take examples of the organizations. So there are a lot of cultural boundaries, lot of risk behavior, marriages and childbearing. If it comes to women, so these factors play very deficient role in hampering their work life. Means the kind of atmosphere is there, like women cannot suffer or travel in night to their workstation. So just because security concerns, they choose to drop the job. Sometimes opportunities are there, but due to these circumstances and culture doesn't allow, our society doesn't allow, there is some stereotypical view. If women is walking on the street in the evening, in the night, so it means there is some problem. So they don't appreciate it, that the kind of activities being taken by a specific gender. So a lot of gender discriminations are there. And again, marriage and childbearing is also sometimes uh, hampers their business prospect, their job prospects. Many of the organizations just they don't deny the job, but they don't select the person, the women who are bearing the child, who are getting ready for marriages. So these kind of discrimination are there in the society, in the organizations from this perspective. And we can also see how our work life balance is being affected due to lot of economical activities. Growth prospects are there. We are adapting a lot of fashion advancement, technological advancement, so lifestyle changes are there. But just because lifestyle uh, followed by us from new trend has also a toll on our life. If our selection is made for new items launched in the market, we have to invest money. We have to invest our time to purchase the product in the selection process. So as a lot of choices are there, so much choices create a lot of conflicts. So these choices creates conflict, and those conflicts create some discomfort, ultimately affects to work-life balance. So what is happening? What is the consequence of all those work-life imbalances? Like the circumstances are there, which creates a drift in work-life balance. So definitely these circumstances creates stress, produce stress. And what is stress? Stress can be understood as a consequence, as an outcome of demand, excess demand created by the circumstances. But important is to have to cope with these situations. How stress can be taken in these circumstances means if any additional workloads are there and changes are taking place in workplace, such as downsizing. Suppose in today's time, privatizations are being made, where especially in public organizations, downsizing is being done. So existing new employees are not being hired, and existing employees have to you know, play those roles, means extra workload is there just because enough employees are not there. So they are also doing extra work assigned to another work who is not at the moment just because new vacancies are not being made. And at this system, sometimes the employees resist that this should not be done. So ultimately, the stress is built up when we have no control that what kind of behavior we have to perform in our job setting. And consequently, it causes, it hampers our health status. Stress is so harmful. If we stay under a stressful situation for a long time, it can create lot of physiological problems, because in a stressful situation, our nervous system is affected, because stress is dealt by sympathetic nervous system. So if sympathetic nervous system is too much activated, so a lot of physiological resources are exhausted, because it makes our heart pump faster and our breathing rate is speeded up. And similarly, some hormonal and neurotransmitter secretion take place, like our body produce adrenaline and cortisol to keep us high on alert. Means in a stressful situation, these neurotransmitter and hormonal hormones are secreted. So any kind of chronic stressful situation can be linked to heart disease, lowered immunity, high blood pressure, and even cancer. So in these circumstances, we should think upon that how to meet with these stressful situation, because it taking our life. Means cases of heart patient, immunity related issues, blood pressure, and cancer, carcinogenic situations are taking place just because we are living in a stressful situation for a long time. And also related to organizations, what psychological uh, uh, outputs, psychological consequences are there. It is one of the uh, outcomes of work life imbalance that can be seen as a burnout. Burnout means you feel exhausted in the system to function, uh, not to function in proper manner. Means burnout is like you are not interested in doing the job. You are feeling too much in the job, and now you are feeling bored and fatigued to be in the system. And it has been reported, it has been reported by a majority of people who are employees, entrepreneurs, leaders. They really feel burnout, many of them. And why it is important to discuss? Because it leads to fatigue, depression, and ultimately death. As a When our resources are exhausted, so we fail to survive in the circumstances. Because there is a health Selye model of stress. It talks about there are three stages. Means one is alarm reaction, second is state of resistance, and third is state of exhaustion. So at first stage, we get the signal that something is wrong with us. And at second stage, which is related to state of resistance, it suggests that our resources try to fight with the situation. But ultimate stage is exhaustion, when our resources are depleted and we fail to fight with the circumstances. So this is a loss of resource as a death. So what is important, what needs to be taken care of, we should love what we do, because dissatisfaction and discontentment comes when we lose enjoying the work and life. So we have to be in those situations where we really can make better utilization of time and life. So we need to we are supposed to go beyond the burnout status for a betterment of life circumstances. So how it can be made? This can be made by improving our life. What is required? We need to have proper checks and balances while dealing with life, while dealing with work circumstances. So what we can see, it is not easy to make a balance. It requires a very proper, systematic approach to deal, to make a balance between life and work. So it starts with a struggle because it's not easy to make a quick fix between work and life because a lot of workload issues, a lot of new technological issues and demands of the organizations puts trouble in making the adjustment. So adjustment itself challenge, and how we can make it better? By taking challenge as an opportunity, by making better decisions, by making better career choices. We can adopt to the work environment and we can make better uh, work life balances. So definitely there would be a struggle, but it will be translated in a better balance. So it's very simple because sometimes, many of the times, we start taking it as a burden and we stop doing very small works because small steps matter a lot. It starts with our, you can say, sleeping, eating. All those patterns provide us, the resources and opportunity to deal with those imbalances. Like if we eat sensibly, so definitely our bodily system will run smoothly. And if we exercise regularly, so our immune system will be, enhanced. Our physical strength will be increased. And if you are sleeping well, so you can perform well in different settings, in work setting. Like if you have slept well in the night, so your attention will be enhanced, your concentration will be focused, and your other cognitive system will be better. And we should also need to find or spare some time to relax. Like our too much indulgence with the work creates difficulty, creates, discontentment. Just because you have been involved too much indulged in the work, so you lose to get time for personal, well-being. So relaxation is also very important to recharge your resources. And also, we should rev up our love life that helps everyone to give more energy and time outside of the work. In terms of checks and balances, some examples can be taken, like always being indulged in the work is not hampering, because many of the things which creates discontentment and dissatisfaction, it comes from our thinking and attitude. So I would like to give example of South Korea. In that country, employees in the organizations are too much committed to work. Means they have a very different kind of work culture. For them, work is part of life. Like I was discussing that work is a component of life. So similarly, they also take work as an integral part of life. Means they do not see work as a burden. They enjoy the process of working, so their life is enhanced. And as a counterpart, their employer, owner of the companies, honor of the organizations, treat them well as an integral part of the organization. They take a tour to all of their employees to some places on the cost of organization. They provide them flexible timing, better workstations, and also take their advices and suggestion to implement. In decision making, implies say is also important. So that way, in South Korea, organizations are well developed and human resources are well utilized by their approach and attitudes. So for that purpose, as we can see, we are taking example of South Korea. It is their attitude which is making them feel better in work setting, and their commitment is escalated just because they are getting enough, uh, better, respect in the organization. And what actually we are doing here, majority of people run after the money. So they have set the goal of getting the money, and they are taking work as an objective, which is really, objective can be understood as a short term and immediate things, which helps in approaching towards goal, and life as a goal. This is needed to work, to see the work as an objective and life as a goal, because goal are long term. Goal is long term phenomena which takes time to achieve, and sometimes it's really unachievable. Like we never can say that this much is life and now we have attained it. There will always be gap to achieve all those aspirations and objectives of life. It cannot be completely fulfilled. So we should take life as a goal and work as an objective. We should never set work as a goal. Usually we make such kind of error that we start taking work and money as a goal. That is really short-term thing. If you are taking short-term goal as a long-term goal, so definitely you will miss to achieve any sort of long-term goals. So your life will be undone because you are not working for that. You are working for the work and money as a prime goal, as a long-term goal. What actually is not the real goal of life. So we should shift our goal if we are taking these steps. And also how life can be balanced by taking instance of power distancing, because we are living in an environment where power is too much highlighted. In every organization there is hierarchy, and that needs to be broken. After breaking the hierarchy, we can give more value to work and humankind, because sometimes the person is appreciated for their post and positions, but work must be valued. Suppose if any person is employed on some low rank profile, low profile post, it doesn't mean the person is not valued. The work is valued actually, whoever is doing that. So we should respect the work played by someone else. So human aspects comes at a core while dealing with human, and it can only be made by breaking the hierarchy which differentiate between the humans. And also we should focus on self exploration. Usually I think we had discussed earlier too that much attention is paid on the achievement, and self exploration is minimized, or lesser attention is paid on self exploration. In our media focused society, the social display of achievement is much heightened. But what actually happened? Different part of self that belongs to social, work, personal, spiritual, So, and these are less explored. So we are trapped in a cycle where our achievement is highlighted and our life is compromised. And especially in emerging economy, I would like to discuss, I would like to mention about risk taking behavior, because it is not essential to take risk every time where our life is in danger. We should not means take such kind of risk, but in normal circumstances where our life is moderate and everything is at proper way, we should take risk, because until and unless you don't take risk, you cannot achieve bigger. What especially in Indian context or Eastern cultural societies, we can see our focus is on saving the money. Actually, that is not investment. We should differentiate between saving and investment. Investment is made to generate some more benefits, but saving is just concentrated on security. Like you are saving the money for future generation. Your kids will get more property or more money. That's why you are saving. You are doubling the money every time when the fixed deposit is completed. So that is not investment. Investment is that when you buy a product which is more learning oriented, which is more life enhancing, which is creating more prospects for your future growth. Because once you start focus only on saving, you will lose your concentration, you will lose your attention on investment. So investment is long lasting and saving is, immediate benefiting. And at the, not at a broader level, it is just giving you sense of security that this much amount I have for myself and for my coming generation. But when you do investment, you have a larger prospects of getting the things grow on that on that ground. It can also be understood by some standard examples available in the market. Means there are some exemplary work made by great entrepreneurs. I would like to take examples of Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Means they have made huge money in their life and even in their early life. You can see the Warren Buffett is a, big investor. Bill Gates has been technical uh, giant, and also these days with he's working with Gates Foundation, who is working on that organization is working on different social and community services. And recently, too much popular, the person who is Elon Musk. He is big entrepreneur and having, I think, richest of the uh, richest person in the world. What is specific about him? Their working style and their approach has been too enormous to earn a lot in a very quick fix. Means these people have taken risk in their life. Even they have better strategies to reach to those long-term goals. So definitely their attitude and their perception and their working style have played a big role to reaching those goals. So they have not completed their goals actually, because goal is one thing which is completely not possible to achieve, but they are very close to that point where many of us just can have wished to reach. If we consider the Musk, he has he was initially, I mean, still now in his traditional car business. That name is Tesla, which runs electric vehicle. So what is famous about him? What why he has become too much popular? Not just because of that Tesla company, but he also run SpaceX, who launches satellites to travel the person to the space. They means space tour business industries also goes with him, Elon Musk. And what kind of risk he has taken? He had invested amount in Bitcoin, which is currently popular blockchain currency. He has invested, and what is more interesting about it, that he earned in a single day much more than what he has earned in 10 years of his Tesla car company. Means it was his vision and approach that makes it possible to earn a huge amount in a single day by those kind of investment, what he had earned in 10 years of his mega traditional car company. So it was risk-taking behavior which was taken by us. Usually what we do, we never try to take enterprises. It's our general tendency to be stagnated in a place, to choose our comfort level, not to go out of that. So that way, it does not provide you the opportunity until and unless you explore them. By setting these examples, we can proceed to a level where career, if it is creating a problem in your life, so you can take a decision to make shift in your career. Either you can enhance the career, or you can have a choice to change the career itself. It is noteworthy to highlight a statement made by Albert Einstein. He said that the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same things in the hope that those things will miraculously achieve a different result. This statement is very significant, that usually we are fixed in a certain frame, that we are actually trapped, and we think if we stay in this position for a long time, so we will get something, more worthy. In actual, it hardly happens, but this is a thinking approach, and it's very much psychological in nature, and it is known as a concept like escalation of commitment. In psychology, in organizational behavior, escalation of commitment is close to the statement drawn by Albert Einstein. Means escalation of commitment can be understood as a behavioral pattern in which an individual or group facing increasingly negative outcomes from a decision, action, or investment nevertheless continues the behavior instead of altering the course. These kind of actions, just you can take examples of gambling. Once you lose multiple times, but you think that whenever you will bet next time, you will compensate all those losses incurred in the past time. So these things really happen in work setting too. We are escalated to we escalate our commitment, the organization where we are working. So please do not compare it with commitment, because that's a different thing. The commitment with the organizational commitment is different thing from the escalation of commitment. So it's notes to be taken differently while understanding this escalation of commitment and organizational commitment. So what points to be taken from here? Like if you are feeling not satisfied, resented, and frustrated in the environment where you are working, and you are making efforts to improve your current job just because you are there and you hope that you will get something big in future. So it may be harmful. So in that circumstances, it can be understood it's never too late to consider a different path or career to earn your living. You can take multiple of examples of entrepreneurs who have started their career very late in their life. I guess owner of the KFC, Kentucky Fries, uh, he started that fry business in his late 60s and now world famous. So, what are the benefits of changing the jobs? When you change the career, because you try to give your best when you pick a new job, and it also just because you have enough motivation and amplified energy, so that way your energy can transform to the person itself as well as the organization, because you can play a big role in the organization by showing enthusiasm and interest. So rather than being in a job just in the hope of future prosperity, you can make a decision to change the job for betterment, and do not escalate your commitment in those circumstances. Otherwise, it would be trapping and it would hamper your work life balance. Um, Now we can see, we discussed a lot of things about the issues related to work life balance and what are the imbalances, challenges are there. So those challenges can be taken up as an opportunity, because as a human being we have to explore what we can do extra. We have to take an attempt to go to extra mile. Being a human, we have uh, enough potential to do anything. So there are different solutions which can be utilized while dealing with these circumstances. Because when dealing with work life imbalances, we have to try to balance the path of work and life. We have to devote our, you know, energy to restore those imbalances, to make out the balances. So I had preferred to give, divide those levels in terms of solution, which can be made by individuals at organizational level and by community level. So at individual level, as a solution, it can be seen that we should minimize our distractions. Like if you are apt to switching the jobs from one company to another company, so it will definitely create the distractions. And if you are biased to purchase the products which is trendy in the market, again you have to invest money, time, and other resources. So your resources will be depleted just because you are distracted to the market trend. So we have to be careful while selecting the products and companies. Apart from that, what as an individual we can do, we must enjoy the leisure activities. Always indulging in work creates boredom, fatigue. So to get refresh ourselves, we must be enjoy this process. We must be indulge in recreational activities so as we can recharge our energy to do with full enthusiasm. Also, we can exercise, we can practice yoga and meditation for soothing activities, for peace of mind. And also it is required to have a good food and better quality of sleep, because foods and sleep are very essential part of our physiological balances. So our body is part of our life, and while we are indulged in work, we are in some work setting, because we are dealing with a lot of workload. So definitely making the timeline of work, the charting out the work will help you to facilitate the process of uh, performing the task. We must taking journals that what we have done in the past and what was the way of doing those things, what were the outcomes. So recording the times and outcomes of the event will facilitate to carry out the work with certain deadlines. This was about the individual level efforts and what can be done from organizational aspects. At organizational level, restructuring of work climate can be reduced. This step can be taken by the organization itself, like you know, flexible hours of working can be provided to their personnel. Flexible leave facilities can be given. Means if we are given uh, leaves on flexible basis, so definitely our commitment to the organization will be increased, and we will try to compensate the leave taken by us in future. So ultimately, organizations will be effective. And also, organization should not create chaos. Like sometimes many of the roles are clubbed. Organization doesn't provide certainty what kind of task you have to play to their personnel. So role clarity is very important to clear the chart. And also organization must provide proper schedule of break time, because break is very essential to perform effectively with potential. We can take examples of some multinational companies, how they give importance to their employees. Like Google provides specific facilities to their women employees as a play station for their kids, so as they can come up with their small kids at workplace. Also, they provide gyms and other recreational activities at the workstation, so as their employees can recreate and re-energize themselves for the betterment of their life, and they can feel better at the workplace itself. Suppose if any person has to join some physical activities, so if they have every facility at the workstation, so they can be not stuck in the process of missing it. They can fulfill there at the workstation. And also taking examples from Starbucks, they also value the basic needs of the individuals. While leaving the workstation at Starbucks, those employees gets 1 cup coffee and bagel in free. So that gives a kind of physical satisfaction, means their basic needs are satisfied at the workplace itself. And what efforts can be taken at community level, because we live in a society and community. So definitely other support is very important. If people appreciate your work, they acknowledge your position, so definitely your value is enhanced. Other people if encourage and motivate you, so your involvement with the organization is also enhanced, because they are giving you back support. So community is also important in this process of making work-life balance. So many things we have discussed, and like work-life balance is a broader phenomena that needs to be continuously uh, uh, take as a process in which our involvement must be comprehensive. So some suggestive measures for the sustenance of work-life balance can be given. Like what is important, to be better. We should never stop learning new things. And we should always aspire big. And for these aspirations and learning, we can integrate the whole process, taking organizations at core, taking home at priority, taking our personal needs and aspirations focused. We can rejuvenate ourselves to get recharged for fulfilling all those aspirations. And for all those things, we must be stay in the process of becoming. I would just say, if you just realize that when you are sick, what you do, what you can think, you will only think that how to be healthy, how do we get out of sickness. But when you are purely satisfied and healthy, so you may have n number of wishes. You can plan anything, you can create anything, you can do anything at the moment when you are holistically healthy. So our prime focus should be there, that how to make our life better by incorporating workplace. Then workplace balancing is very important thing. So it is very suggestive that we should learn to love the work and enjoy the process of life. Thank you so much. I invite questions from the participant side if they have.
थैंक यू सो मच वीरेंद्र. बहुत ही सभी चैट बॉक्सेस फुल ऑफ की दिस सेशन वी रिक्वायर सच काइंड ऑफ सेशन. तो ये तो आपका सेशन एक रोज ही हम सबके लिए होना चाहिए.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we have questions in the chat box. The very first question from Dr. Vivek Gupta. The question is, sir, as far as working in any organization is concerned, 8 to 9 hours per day is common working hours accepted by economy and recognized by government. How can an individual manage it on his own?
Okay. So what we had taken steps at individuals level that can be followed, like how we can recreate our efficiency. Like at individuals level, we were talking about we have to spare the time for recreational activities by and also by changing our attitude. Suppose sometimes if we are working in organization, so we should also know how to say modestly no. What is our usual tendency to always say yes? If our boss says that you have to do this work, so what actually we do compliance just for not ignoring our boss's advices and commands. But sometimes it is required to say no, because we have some limited resources, and if you are too much indulged in the workplace, and that suppose you have 8 to 9 times, so in that time it is not essential to involve all time working. Means 13 hours working is too much, but this needs, you know, a common commitment. Suppose if one individual says that, so they can be discriminated and can be fired from the organization. So as you know, a collective, we should create a collective consciousness among human. Only then we can meet out the challenges. Because sometimes when people resist, so other people start to comply. So by making changes in our attitude and working culture, we can cope with the demands of the organization, and we can stay fit and healthy in that system.
थैंक यू वीरेंद्र, थैंक यू सो मच. डॉक्टर के अग्रवाल हैज ज्वाइंड. तो
Okay.
हमारे जितने भी अभी रिमेनिंग क्वेरीज हैं, विल रिक्वेस्ट यू कि हम आपसे थोड़ा आपको बाद में परेशान करेंगे. एंड थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ए वेरी वैल्यूएबल एंड इंसाइटफुल लेक्चर. थैंक यू सो मच.
धन्यवाद मैम.
थैंक यू.
सभी पार्टिसिपेंट को भी मेरा बहुत बहुत नमस्कार और धन्यवाद.
Thank you
so much, sir. Sir, kindly make KK Agarwal sir co-host.
Sorry, ma'am. Please repeat the name, ma'am.
KK Agarwal, Dr. KK Agarwal, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, we welcome you on behalf of the college. I hope we are audible. Agarwal, sir, Dr.
डॉक्टर अग्रवाल सर, सर हमारी वॉइस आ रही है आपको?
I think कॉल कर लेना चाहिए.
Okay.
A very good afternoon, sir. I hope we are audible.
Yes, I'm there.
वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
Hello, how are you?
We welcome on behalf of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee College and Ramanujan College TLC Center for this 7 days, 1 week online faculty development program. Dr. KK Agarwal is an Indian cardiologist who is president of CMAO, president of the Heart Care Foundation of India, and past national president of Indian Medical Association. In 2010, the government of India honored him with the Padma Shri, India's fourth highest civilian award, for his contribution to the field of medicine. Sir has published many books on health, including Ayurveda, which he combines ancient Vedic medicine with modern allopathy. Sir, we welcome you in this session, sir.
Thank you. आपका म्यूट हो गया.
Yes, sir. The session.
Should I start?
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Thank you, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee College, for inviting me to be here and to interact on how to be healthy during the COVID time. So my topic will be how to be healthy in the COVID time. So COVID time में हम किस तरीके से अपने आप को healthy रख सकें, that is what the objective is going to be. And I'm going to pertain it to adults. That means आवाज आ रही है पीछे से. So I will pertaining it to people who are 12 years of age, above 12 years of age. So let us see pre-COVID era. In pro-COVID era, we used to die of asthma, COPD, heart attack, paralysis, heart failure, blood pressure, diarrhea, jaundice, typhoid. In the post-COVID era, our death rate should reduce by more than 50%. If you see the data from all over the world, flu has disappeared from the world. अगर कोरोना होगा तो फ्लू नहीं रह सकता. The level of education all of us have got. Everybody today is talking about knowing everything in great detail. So level of education has increased. Today, we are talking about universal lifestyle and universal signals of distress. The time is gone that SPM College organizes weekly lectures. The first week, somebody will come and will say, these are the symptoms, think of diabetes. Next week, an orthopedician will come and say, if these are the symptoms, think of a bone disease. And next week, a heart doctor will come and he will talk about cardiology. And next week, a cancer doctor comes, he starts talking about cancer. And by 5th, you start cursing कि मैं डॉक्टरी में क्यों नहीं गया. अगर इतना मेरे को पढ़ना है as a non-doctor, better I would have become a doctor. So today we need to have a universal distress signal. I don't bother whether it is cancer. Why should I bother cancer है कि heart attack है? I must have a way to find out there is universal distress syndrome. And that universal distress is, number one, anything unusual. So if you feel or observe or experience, if you feel, you observe, you experience anything which is unusual, anything coming for the first time in adult life. बच्चों में तो कोई ना कोई चीज पहली बार होगी. But if you are experiencing it for the first time in adult life, which is, you cannot explain it. Doctor may be able to explain it, but you cannot explain it, or it is persistent for more than 2 weeks. Talk to your doctor. Which doctor? A GP doctor who will guide you where to go and where not to go. So that's what basically it means, that if you have a symptom which is unusual, let us see. You say, मैंने अभी मेरे को उल्टी हो गई, मेरे को उल्टी हो गई. Now this can be abnormal or this can be normal. Suppose you say मैंने केला खाया और उल्टी हो गई. You will say, हो सकता है केले में कुछ खराबी हो, शायद उल्टी आ गई हो. Let me see, अगर ठीक हो जाती है तो मैं डॉक्टर से बात कर लूंगा. So you can justify in your mind, it may be a food poisoning. But if you say मैंने तो 4 घंटे से कुछ खाया ही नहीं है. If I have not eaten anything for 4 hours, and that would mean that I know मेरा खाना 2 घंटे में पच जाता है. So if I have not eaten anything in 2 hours, that's abnormal, that's unexplainable. I must talk to the doctor. If you say my age is 30, for the first time in my life, I have a burning in my chest. For the first time in my life, I have a burning in my chest. That's abnormal. Let me talk to a doctor. I know as a doctor, it's a heart attack. But you don't have to know whether it is a heart attack. You say, hey, doc, I am having for the first time acidity attack, and this is my age. For the first time in life, if you get asthma after the age of 30, is abnormal. For the first time, you are getting fever, which is very high. It's abnormal. If your fever is low grade, persisting for more than 2 weeks, show to your doctor. If the cough is persisting for more than 2 weeks, show to your doctor. So what we have learned is that if you experience, observe. There was a size in there was a gland here. There was a type of a swelling here, which has suddenly increased. That's observation, experience, face a situation, unusual for the first time, which cannot be explained, lasting for more than 2 weeks. Don't ignore it. Go back to your doctor. That's one thing which everybody should know. The second thing which I want to simplify is that your lifestyle has to be universal. You can't say, I will do this to prevent diabetes, this to prevent heart attack, this to prevent cancer, this to prevent anything. The lifestyle has to be universal. Universal means I must learn in half an hour or 20 minutes everything which will teach me how to remain healthy. And these have to be in such a way that as a non-medical person, I can remember, note down, teach, follow. Let's say the first principle is hygiene. The first principle is hygiene. So hygiene is my body, my air, my water, my food which I eat, and my excreta which I take them out. So these are called as hygiene. Let's talk about food and water hygiene. There is only one principle of food and water hygiene, and that principle is heat it, boil it, cook it, peel it, or forget it. Peel it, that means आपके पास केला है और संतरा है. केले को अगर आपने छील के खा लिया तो कभी इन्फेक्शन नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज सारा इन्फेक्शन छिलके में चला गया. सेब को अगर आपने खाना है तो अच्छे से धोना पड़ेगा. हीट इट, किसी भी चीज को गर्म कर लेंगे तो उसमें वायरसेस, बैक्टीरिया सारे मर गए. कोविड-19 भी आ गया, बर्ड फ्लू भी आ गया. बॉयल इट, किसी भी चीज को अगर आप बॉयल कर देंगे तो उसके अंदर में सारे कीटाणु मर गए. कुक इट, अगर आप किसी को अच्छे से पका लेते हो, अंडा हो, सब्जी हो, नॉनवेज हो, किसी भी चीज को अच्छे से पका लेते हो तो बीमारी नहीं फैल सकता. सो हीट इट, पील इट, कुक इट, बॉयल इट और फॉरगेट इट, नहीं तो मत खाओ. घर में अगर आप खा रहे हो, then you have to be very clear about cleaning those things. So the fundamental principle of food and water outside home, where you are not sure about the purity of the food and water, heat it, boil it, cook it, peel it, and forget it. That's the basic principle you have to follow. Then comes is respiratory hygiene, which all of us have learned during COVID-19. This respiratory hygiene basically will take care of all respiratory disorders, flu, corona, adenovirus, respiratory syncytial virus, all pneumonias, streptococcal sore throat, ये सबको ठीक करेगा. Respiratory hygiene means physical social distancing and cough etiquettes. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मतलब जो खांस रहा है, चिल्ला रहा है, गा रहा है, उससे 3 फुट दूर रहो. एंड रेस्पिरेटरी एटिकेट मीन्स अगर आपको खांसी आई तो आपने अपनी बाजू में खांसी करनी है, अपने हाथों में या रुमाल में खांसी नहीं करनी. That's all. Respiratory hygiene is over. And with that, we have to come back to the concept of अगर आप किसी के 3 फीट के दायरे में आते हैं तो आपको मास्क पहनना है. मास्क का मतलब है आउटर रिपेलेंट, इनर एब्जॉर्बेंट और बीच में फिल्टर. That's what the mask you have to use. Outer repellent जो पानी को रिपेल करे, अंदर वाला जो एब्जॉर्ब करे और बीच में वाला जो फिल्टर करे. That's mask you have to use. Then we come back to body hygiene. Body hygiene का मतलब है आंखों को साफ करना. If you are washing your eyes every day, you will not develop any type of a respiratory communicable disease. त्रिफला के पानी से, रोज वाटर के पानी से, ठंडे पानी से, गुनगुने पानी से, अपने हाथ में पानी रख के, अपनी आंख को उसमें भिगो के, if you blink, the eyes will get cleaned. आइस के बाद में नाक आई. You have to wash your nose every day. अगर आप, if you are washing your nose every day, you would have ended up not getting corona so much. Nasal hygiene means keeping the nose moist. तेल से रखो, घी से रखो, nasal saline से रखो, जलनेती से करो. Whatever you do, keep your nose moist. Then comes is your mouth. Mouth के अंदर में पुराने जमाने में there used to be a finger test, and we used to say 2 उंगलियों से, 1 उंगली से दांत, 2 उंगलियों से मसूड़े, 3 उंगलियों से जीभा और अंगूठे से ऊपर का तलवा. That's what we used to say. Therefore, what has happened today is we are only cleaning our teeth. We have stopped cleaning our masude, our tongue and our talwa upar. And that's the reason corona जैसे infections आ रहे हैं, because वहां पे डट पड़ी हुई है, वहां आके वो चिपक जाते हैं. So mouth hygiene means cleaning your teeth, front and back, upper and lower, your gums, your palate upar, and your tongue in the front and tongue in the back. That's what means. And then comes is washing your body. Washing your body में हमारे यहाँ पे पूरे हमारे यहाँ पे शास्त्रों में 5 चीजें बताई गई थी that cleaning your body में, and that was पंचामृत. आप घर में पंचामृत पूजा में बनाते हैं. पंचामृत से भगवान को नहलाते हैं. अहम ब्रह्मस्मि, वही भगवान मेरे अंदर है, और वही पंचामृत का प्रिंसिपल आप अपने ऊपर में क्यों नहीं अप्लाई करते. दूध से सूदनिंग होती है. दही टेक्स अवे द डर्ट. दही वर्क्स लाइक ए साबुन. Oil works like a moisturizer. Oil works like a ghee, or it works like a moisturizer. Shahad works like a moisturizer, and oil is more of a lubrication, and shahad works like a moisturizer, and khand works like a friction to remove the dead skin. So जिस प्रकार से हमारे यहाँ पंचामृत का मेंशन है, उस तरीके से अगर हम अपनी बॉडी को साफ करेंगे तो स्किन की बीमारियां कभी नहीं होंगी. But we end up into a disease because we don't know how to wash. Then comes is अपने पैर को हम धोते नहीं हैं. जैसे हाथ को धोते हैं, हाथ को धोने का तरीका है सुमन के, एस फॉर सीधा, ऊ फॉर उल्टा, एम फॉर मुट्ठी, ए फॉर अंगूठा, एन फॉर नाखून एंड के फॉर कलाई. दैट इज कॉल्ड सुमन के, SUMAN-K. उसी तरीके से हमें पैरों को भी धोना है, सीधा उल्टा ऐसे करके जो है हम धोते नहीं है. Now you go back to our literature and our culture. There is a mention of छठोपचार पूजा, कि हम भगवान की पूजा कैसे करते हैं. फिर उसका मेंशन आता है अतिथि की पूजा कैसे करते हैं. So we come back to the concept is अतिथि देवो भव. So अतिथि कहाँ है? जो घर में आ रहा है, या मेरे अंदर की बॉडी में मेरा जो अतिथि है, मेरे घर में जो अतिथि है. अतिथि के सबसे पहले पैर धुलवाए जाते हैं. अगर हम अतिथियों के पैर धुलाते और ये परंपरा होती तो कोरोना इतना तंग नहीं करता. फिर हम उसके हाथ धुलवाते हैं. अगर हम सबकी ये प्रथा हमारी चल रही होती तो हमारे को दोबारा से सीखना नहीं पड़ता. फिर हम उसको बोलते हैं हाथ मुंह धो ले. फिर हम उसको बोलते हैं कि तूने हाथ धो लिया, अब मुंह भी धो ले. कहते हैं ना, पैर के बाद में हाथ मुंह धो के, हाथ मुंह धोने का मतलब है उसको कुल्ला कराते हैं. आजकल हम उसके मुंह के अंदर में उसको पोविडॉन आयोडीन का गुल्ला कराते हैं ताकि अगर कोई वायरस है तो मर जाए. सो वी डू ए गार्गल विद एनी, चाहे वो नीम का पानी हो, हमने एक बार लिस्टरीन हो. जब हमने उसको हाथ मुंह धुला दिया, उसके बाद में हम उसे मिष्ठान खिलाते हैं. मिष्ठान किस चीज की? गुड़ का. और अगर वो गुड़ खाने के बाद में बोल रहा है कि मुझे इसका टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा, तो कोरोना है. कोरोना में टेस्ट चला जाता है. ऐसे आदमी को जब हम मिष्ठान खिलाते हैं, अगर वो बोलता है कि मुझे टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा, तो हम प्रणाम बोलते हैं, घर जाओ, मेरे घर में आप नहीं आ सकते. दैट इज कॉल्ड टेस्टिंग फॉर मीठा. फिर हम उसके ऊपर में इत्र छोड़ते हैं. देखिए पुरानी परंपरा है इत्र छोड़ने की. वो कहता है क्या स्मेल है, आ जाओ. वो कहता है क्या बदबू है, जाओ, कोरोना है तुम्हारे को. स्मेल एंड टेस्ट चला गया उसका. सो हमारी परंपराओं में तो लिखा हुआ था कि मिष्ठान और उसको सुगंध घर में घुसने से पहले सूंघवानी है, क्योंकि पता था उन लोगों को इस प्रकार की बीमारियां होती है या होने वाली हैं. फिर हम उसको क्या कहते हैं? प्रणाम. हम उसको प्रणाम करते हैं और प्रणाम करते हुए सर नीचे कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि जैसे ही मैंने सर नीचे किया, वो बोलेगा आशीर्वाद, उसका वायरस मेरे ऊपर से निकल गया अगर है तो. अगर मैं उसको ऐसे बोलूंगा प्रणाम, आंखों आंखों में मिला के, तो हमारी दोनों की हवा आपस में एक्सचेंज होगी. तो ये अब सवाल लोगों, हमेशा लोग पूछते थे कि प्रणाम करते हुए नीचे क्यों झुकते हैं? अरे भाई, उसका वायरस ऊपर से निकल जाए. और उसके बाद में हम ऊंचे आसन पे बिठाते हैं. ऊंचे आसन पे बिठाने का मतलब है आंखों से आंखें नहीं मिलाते. कहते हैं बड़ों से आंखों से आंखें नहीं मिलाना, क्योंकि वायरस आपके एक के मुंह से दूसरे के मुंह में जा सकता है. तो टोटल अतिथि देवो भव हमारे को सिखा रहा है बीमारियों से कैसे बचें. कोरोना से भी बचा रहा है. इसी से टीबी से भी बचाव होगा, बाकी सारी बीमारियों से भी बचाव होगा. Now we come back. So one is hygiene, second is lifestyle. दूसरा आता है लाइफस्टाइल, कि मेरा लाइफस्टाइल कैसा हो. तो उसमें सबसे पहला लाइफस्टाइल में आता है, ऐसा कौन सा लाइफस्टाइल है जो मेरी बॉडी में सारी बीमारियों की जड़ है. अस्थमा, निमोनिया, ब्लड प्रेशर, डायबिटीज, ओबेसिटी, कैंसर, इन सब की बीमारियों की जड़ क्या है. अगर आप दोनों मैडम्स आपके कमरे में अगर अभी 4 लोग घुस जाएं बिना बताए, तो आप क्या करोगे? अगर आपके घर में, मैं आपसे सवाल पूछ रहा हूं, अगर आप इस ऑफिस में बैठे हो, 2 लोग बैठे हैं, और अभी 4 लोग यहाँ घुस जाएंगे तो आप क्या करोगे? जिनको आप जानते नहीं हो तो क्या करोगे? बताइए आप।
सर पुलिस को कॉल करेंगे या फिर भागने की कोशिश करेंगे, 2 ऑप्शन है।
या तो उनको भगाने की कोशिश करेंगे, या खुद भागने की कोशिश करेंगे, या पुलिस को बनाने की कोशिश करेंगे।
Yes.
तो उसी प्रकार से मेरे शरीर में ट्रिलियंस ऑफ सेल्स हैं। अगर उस सेल में कोई नॉन सेल्फ घुसने की कोशिश करे, अगर मेरी सेल के अंदर इस वक्त में आप एक सेल में बैठे हो, ऐसे 6 ट्रिलियन सेल्स मेरी बॉडी में हैं, एक सेल के अंदर में अगर कोई घुसने की कोशिश करे, इसे हम बोलते हैं नॉन सेल्फ, जिसको आप जानते नहीं हो। अब वो क्या क्या हो सकता है? मलेरिया का पैरासाइट भी हो सकता है, कोविड का वायरस भी हो सकता है, कोविड के वायरस के अलावा टीबी का बैक्टीरिया भी हो सकता है, पोल्यूशन का पार्टिकल भी हो सकता है, एबनॉर्मल खाना भी हो सकता है, जहर भी हो सकता है। तो कोई भी चीज जिसको मैं नहीं पहचानता, केमिकल भी हो सकता है, पॉइजन भी हो सकता है, पेस्टिसाइड भी हो सकता है, इंसेक्टिसाइड भी हो सकता है। सो कोई भी चीज अगर मेरी सेल में घुसेगी तो मेरी सेल उस पर रिएक्ट करेगी। अगर कोई भी चीज मेरी सेल के अंदर घुसती है तो मेरी सेल उसको रिएक्ट करेगी। उस रिएक्शन को हम इन्फ्लेमेशन बोलते हैं। Remember the word inflammation means reaction of the self with the non-self. So reaction of the self with the non-self is called as a inflammation. It is also called as a cell injury. It is also called as a cell injury. This cell will cause inflammation. Inflammation will present as silent inflammation or overt inflammation. Overt inflammation can be local or systemic. Local का मतलब है मेरे को बिच्छू ने काट खाया तो वो यहाँ पे इन्फ्लेमेशन हो जाएगा, दिस इज कॉल्ड लोकल इन्फ्लेमेशन। अगर वो इन्फ्लेमेशन बिच्छू का जहर पूरे शहर में चला गया, मेरे पूरे ब्लड में चला गया, तो हर सेल के अंदर में इन्फ्लेमेशन हो जाएगा। सो इट कैन बी लोकल और सिस्टमिक। ये वाला जो इन्फ्लेमेशन है आपको दिखाई देता है, बुखार आ गया आपको दिखाई देता है। मैं बातचीत कर रहा हूं उस इन्फ्लेमेशन की जो साइलेंट है और आपको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा। सो वो इन्फ्लेमेशन जो साइलेंट है और आपको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा। ना इमेजिन अंगीठी, कि आपके पास एक अंगीठी है, अंगीठी के अंदर में आग लगी हुई है, आपने कोयले को गर्म किया और उसमें हल्की सी आग लगा दी, लेकिन बाहर से वो आग दिख नहीं रही। उसको दिखने के लिए आप फूंक मारते हो, जैसे ही फूंक मारते हो आग जल जाती है। वो स्टेज अंगीठी की जो दिखने में गर्म है लेकिन दिखने में आग नहीं लगी हुई, और उसको आग को लगने में फूंक की जरूरत है, उसे हम साइलेंट स्टेट बोलते हैं, साइलेंट फायर। जैसे ही इसमें फूंक मारोगे आग जल जाएगी। उसी प्रकार से अगर मेरी बॉडी में साइलेंट इन्फ्लेमेशन है तो कोई भी वायरस, बैक्टीरिया, पॉइजन, इंसेक्टिसाइड, पोल्यूशन उसमें फूंक मारेगा तो आग लग जाएगी। इसे हम बोलते हैं प्रेसिपिटेटिंग फैक्टर। लोग कहते हैं कि मेरे को कभी कभी अस्थमा का अटैक पड़ जाता है। इसका मतलब क्या है? अस्थमा का जिसने मुझे अस्थमा प्रेसिपिटेट करना है उसने आके फूंक मारी और मेरा अस्थमा प्रेसिपिटेट हो गया। किसी ने बोला कि मेरे को वायरल होता है तो निमोनिया हो जाता है। वायरस ने आया, फूंक मारी, आग लग गई। कोरोना भी यही काम करता है। और अगर वो आग ज्यादा हो जाए उसे हम साइटोकाइन स्टॉर्म बोलते हैं। फेफड़ों में करेगा तो निमोनिया कर देगा, लिवर में करेगा तो लिवर में डैमेज कर देगा। सो आज की डेट में अगर मेरे को मल्टीपल बीमारियों से बचना है तो मेरे को अपने शरीर में इन्फ्लेमेशन नहीं चाहिए। अब इन्फ्लेमेशन मुझे कैसे पता लगे कि मेरे शरीर में इन्फ्लेमेशन है कि नहीं है? अगर आपको बार बार बुखार आता है, आपको बार बार मुहासे आते हैं, एक्ने आता है, अगर आपको बार बार अस्थमा का अटैक पड़ता है, बार बार बॉयल्स आते हैं, या फिर आपका वजन बढ़ रहा है, इन सब के अंदर में इन्फ्लेमेशन दिखाई देगा। So I will show you two types of inflammation. One, I will show you inflammation which is evident but still silent. So let me show you still silent. तो मैं आपको एक चीज दिखा रहा हूं। अब एक भाई साहब हमारे साथ आए, उनकी स्किन के ऊपर में कालापन था, उनकी आंखों के नीचे कालापन था। ये एक भाई साहब थे जो हमारे पास में आए, स्किन में कालापन था, चेहरे में कालापन था। हमने उनसे पूछा कोई तकलीफ? बोले कोई तकलीफ नहीं है। इसे हम बोलते हैं बॉडी में इन्फ्लेमेशन है। ये करीबन 20 से 25% पॉपुलेशन में निकलेगा इन्फ्लेमेशन के अंदर में। शरीर काला होना चालू हो जाता है, आप कहते हो उम्र का तकाजा है। आंखों के नीचे कालापन आ जाएगा, यानी कि आग दिख भी नहीं रही है, बुझी हुई भी नहीं है, हल्की सी आग है, हल्की सी आग है मेरे शरीर में। तो आग, स्किन मेरी जल रही है लेकिन मेरे को महसूस नहीं हो रहा। फिर हमने इन भाई साहब का बैक देखा, तो बैक के अंदर में कालापन था, बैक में स्किन टैग्स थे। फिर हमने इनकी कोहनी देखी, कोहनी में कालापन था। फिर हमने इनकी आर्मपिट देखी, आर्मपिट में कालापन था, आर्मपिट में कालापन था। बैक में हल्के हल्के निशान आ रहे थे, कोहनी में कालापन था। पैंट उतरवाई, शर्ट उतरवाई तो पेट का मोटापा था। इनके हिसाब से मैं बिल्कुल फिट हूं, इनके हिसाब से मैं बिल्कुल फिट हूं। बोले तुम तो खानदानी है, सबकी निकलती है, मेरी भी निकल गई, क्योंकि इनके हिसाब से इनको ब्लड प्रेशर नहीं है, डायबिटीज नहीं है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल नहीं है, हार्ट अटैक नहीं है। तो इसका मतलब है कि मैं स्वस्थ हूं। सो दिस इज द एक्सट्रीम डिग्री ऑफ मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम। This is extreme degree of inflammation in my body. Metabolic syndrome means मेरी बॉडी के अंदर में, similarly you can see one more patient, सेम काले रंग का कलर इनका, यहाँ पे पेट का मोटापा एंड स्लाइट बैकनेस, थोड़ा सा पहले वाले से कम। बाकी लोगों का क्या होगा? इन्फ्लेमेशन होगा तो उनका, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट मी टेक एन एग्जाम्पल, कि अगर एक लड़की का वजन 50 किलो है 18 साल की उम्र में, और उसके बाद में 28 साल की उम्र के तक उसका वजन 60 किलो हो जाता है, दिखने में खट्टी खट्टी दिखेगी कि मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूं, लेकिन याद रखिए जब तक आपकी हाइट बढ़ रही है वजन बढ़ेगा। जिस दिन आपकी हाइट बढ़नी बंद हो गई, अगर वजन बढ़ रहा है तो वो मोटापा है। जिस दिन आपकी हाइट बढ़नी चालू हो गई, उसके बाद में एनीथिंग मोर देन 5 kg इज मोटापा। अब मोटापे में क्या होगा, लेट अस सी। मोटापे के अंदर में अगर मेरा मोटापा, मेरा वजन बढ़ रहा है, इसका मतलब क्या है कि मैंने एक्स्ट्रा कैलोरीज ली, बॉडी को नहीं चाहिए। तो मेरे यहाँ पे दो प्रकार के सेल्स होते हैं, व्हाइट सेल एंड ब्राउन सेल। व्हाइट सेल, ब्राउन सेल को आपने खाना दिया, उसने यूज कर लिया एक्सरसाइज के अंदर में, अगर वो बच गया तो उसने व्हाइट सेल में दे दिया। व्हाइट सेल के अंदर में घुसा तो रिएक्शन होगा। जैसे आपने कहा आपके कमरे में 2 लोग आएंगे तो हम रिएक्ट करेंगे, उसी तरीके से मेरी सेल में, व्हाइट सेल के अंदर में अगर कोई भी फैटी एसिड घुसेगा तो इन्फ्लेमेशन होगा। सो द इन्फ्लेमेशन का मार्कर इज सी रिएक्टिव प्रोटीन। पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव 8 रुपए का टेस्ट है, क्वांटिटेटिव 150 रुपए का टेस्ट है। तो कभी भी आपको लगे कि मेरे को खाना खाने के बाद में स्फूर्ति आने के बदले सुस्ती आती है, मेरे को खाना खाने के बाद में स्फूर्ति आने के बदले सुस्ती आती है, दोपहर में खाना खाने के बाद मुझे नींद आती है कंपल्सरी, मैं थोड़ा सा चलता हूं मुझे थकान आ जाती है, दैट मीन्स यू हैव लो ग्रेड इन्फ्लेमेशन इन द बॉडी। मेरे को बार बार लगता है टेम्परेचर है लेकिन नापने में नहीं आता, I feel discomfort, I feel tired all the time. These are all signs of inflammation in the body. Your blood test may be normal. Or if your blood test shows CRP more than 1. अगर आपका सी रिएक्टिव प्रोटीन 1 से ज्यादा है, इसका मतलब है बॉडी में कहीं तो भी इन्फ्लेमेशन है। जब सीआरपी ज्यादा होता है तो 2 प्रकार का सीआरपी है जो अलग अलग ऑर्गन्स के कारण से सीआरपी बढ़ सकता है। आंखों में, स्किन में, छोटी आंत के अंदर में यानी कि जीआई ट्रैक्ट के अंदर में, लिवर में या हार्ट में। ये 5 एरियाज हैं जहां पे अगर कहीं पर भी इन्फ्लेमेशन हो तो सीआरपी बढ़ सकता है। तो इस तरीके से आप पता लगा सकते हो कि मेरा सीआरपी कहां बढ़ रहा है। उसके अलावा अगर आपका सीआरपी बढ़ा है बिकॉज ऑफ फैटी एसिड ज्यादा खाने से, तो ये मसल में जाएगा। मसल में अगर सीआरपी बढ़ गया यानी कि इन्फ्लेमेशन आ गया तो फिर आप क्या कहेंगे कि मेरे को मस्कुलर वीकनेस है। जमीन पे बैठ के हाथ को ऊपर करके आप खड़े नहीं हो सकते, यानी कि आपको मसल वीकनेस है। और जैसे ही वीकनेस होगी आपके घुटनों में दर्द चालू हो जाएगा। अगर लिवर में चला गया तो आपको फैटी लिवर हो गया। आंखों में चला गया तो आपको आंखें बार बार तकलीफ होगी। स्किन में चला गया तो आप बोलोगे मेरे को जगह जगह रैश आते हैं। पेट में चला गया तो पेट का मोटापा आ गया। लड़कियों के ब्लड में चला गया तो यहां बाल आ गए और वो जा की ब्यूटिशियन के यहां जा के बाल निकलवा रही हैं अपने, उनको मेंस्ट्रुअल एब्नॉर्मैलिटीज हो गई। अगर उनकी ओवरी में चला गया तो पॉलीसिस्टिक ओवेरियन डिसीज हो गई। अगर हार्ट में चला गया तो हार्ट अटैक हो गया। ब्रेन में चला गया तो ब्रेन अटैक हो गया। अब देखिए, सेल में चला गया तो कैंसर हो गया। अब देखिए ना, अब आप जा रहे हैं, अब कैंसर वाला जाएगा ये करो, हार्ट वाला बोलेगा ये करो, किडनी वाला बोलेगा ये करो, वो वाला बोलेगा ये करो। जड़ तो सीआरपी है ना, जड़ तो इन्फ्लेमेशन है ना। एक जड़ है, वो है मेरी बॉडी में सेल्फ वर्सेस नॉन सेल्फ की रिएक्शन जिससे इन्फ्लेमेशन हो रहा है। अगर मैं उस इन्फ्लेमेशन को रोक दूं तो ये सारी बीमारियां मेरी रिवर्स हो जाएंगी। तो अक्सर लोग क्या कहते हैं, मैं 18 गोलियां रोज की खा रहा हूं। बोले क्या है, 2 डायबिटीज की, 1 थायराइड की, 3 ब्लड प्रेशर की, 4 हार्ट की, 2 लिवर की। और अगर उन सबको रोकने के बदले अगर मैं जड़ को ठीक कर दूं अगर मैं जड़ को ठीक कर दूं तो मेरा इन्फ्लेमेशन अगर खत्म हो गया तो मैं सारी बीमारी को ठीक कर सकता हूं, उसको रिवर्स कर सकता हूं. So what I can do is, so my basic objective is to take care of my body in such a way that I reduce inflammation in my body. How do I reduce inflammation in my body? That is now the principle we need to understand. These are the principles we need to understand. Now let us say, if I come to your college and you invite me for a lunch, will you say we will have only salt in the lunch? And you serve me only a katori of salt and you say this is the lunch? The answer is no. Or you will say I will only serve you kali mirach in the lunch, or red pepper or a black pepper? No. Will you say I will serve you only achar in the lunch? No. So pungent, sour and salt. Pungent, any food item which is pungent, which is sour, which is salty, pungent, sour and salt will increase digestion, but in excess will cause inflammation. So if I take a lot of salt in excess, it will cause inflammation. If I take red pepper, black pepper, green pepper, chilies, green chilies, red chilies, black pepper, this will in excess will produce inflammation. And if I take lot of sour fruit, fermented food, lot of fermented food, including excess of alcohol, will cause inflammation in my body. So reduce inflammation, I need sweet, bitter, and astringent. Now sweet means millets, sweet means grains. These are all sweet, naturally sweet. But artificial sweets are harmful. Artificial sweet means I have refined them. So from wheat, I have made the maida, and that will become a refined carbohydrate that will be harmful. So first generation non-refined carbohydrate or bitter or astringent, kasela. Astringents are pulses. Apple is astringent, banana taste is astringent. Katha which you use in a pan is astringent. Now, if you see in this corona, everybody is drinking kada. What is this kada? Nothing but bitter and astringent. Because in your life, you were not using bitter and astringent. You were drinking a lot of kada. Therefore, non-inflammatory diet is all 7 colors and 6 tastes. So if you balance all 6 tastes in your body, that means sweet, bitter, and astringent in equal quantity, pungent, sour, and salt in limited quantity, and all 7 colors, means every color is a vitamin, and third, fresh, seasonal, locally grown, and wherever possible, sprouted. When you sprout a plant, you increase its minerals and trace elements. So whenever you include sprouting, you get zinc, you get all types of materials with that. So therefore, non-inflammatory diet means balancing all 7 colors and 6 tastes in the diet. That's the first principle of non-inflammatory lifestyle. Now here I will make you remember now a formula, because otherwise you will not be able to remember it. And the formula is, if you want to live 80 years of your life without any inflammatory lifestyle disorder, remember this formula of 80. The formula of 80 is, keep your pulse rate lower than 80. That means if you have all the time high pulse rate, means you are living a stressful life. Keep your lower cholesterol less than 80. LDL, lower cholesterol less than 80. Keep your fasting sugar less than 80. Keep your lower blood pressure less than 80. Keep your abdominal circumference less than 80. So what you do is, your lower blood pressure, your pulse rate, your fasting sugar, your abdominal circumference, your bad cholesterol levels, all bring them less than 80. Along with that, you keep your lung functions and kidney functions above 80%. That has to be decided by your doctor. Now, how do I do that? How do I do that? To do that, walk 80 minutes a day, brisk walk 80 minutes a week. When you walk minimum 80 steps in a minute, when you do cardio 80% of your required heart rate, which is 220 minus age. So by this, you remember the formula of 80. That means I have to walk and I also have to brisk walk. So normally we say 2 days in a week walk, 2 days in a week brisk walk, and 2 days in a week do resistance training. That's what the formula of 80 is. When it comes to eating, eat less, not more than 80 gram of caloric food at one time, or not more than 80 ml of caloric liquid at one time. And 80 days in a year, you do a wheat fast. Do not eat wheat 80 days in a year. Now let's give a calculation. Calculation is, suppose you say my weight is 80 kg. To maintain that 80 kg, multiplied it by 30, you require 2,400 calories per day. So if you take 30 calories per kilogram, you will maintain a weight of 80 kg. Now suppose you say I want to become 70 kg, then you require 70 into 30, 2,100 calories every day. That means you need to reduce 300 calories every day, which means you can burn out 150 calories and reduce only 150 calories one day. Now let us calculate how much do you eat. 1 gram of carbohydrate gives you 4 calories. 1 gram of protein gives you 4 calories. 1 gram of fat gives you 9 calories. So if I have a mix of all three, it becomes 17 calories for 3 grams. 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of carbohydrate. Average comes out to be around 6 calories per gram. Therefore, if you say, I want to maintain my weight at 21, that means 70 kg, and you need 2,100 calories, then you need only 350 grams of food per day. we only want to eat 350 grams of food one day, which will mean 80 grams of food 4 times in a day, or 120 grams of food 3 times in a day. Now recall, when you go to a party, so you first take chaat party, then you say, let me have snacks and let me have soft drink. So first dinner is your chaat party. The second dinner is snacks and soft drink. Then you have the third dinner, you say the main supper. And then you say, let me have a sweet dish. On an average, you eat minimum 200 grams in a party and maximum 750 grams in a party. Imagine when you are going to a party, you need 350 grams in the whole day. And you are consuming 350 grams of sweet after eating full food. Now, this causes distress in my white cells, and this causes number one cause of obesity. This causes number one cause of obesity. So therefore, if I am eat less, not more than 80 grams of food in one go, not more than 80 ml of liquid in one go. Next thing which comes is keep air pollution less than 80, keep noise pollution less than 80. So air pollution and noise pollution should be kept less than 80. Do 20 cycles of parasympathetic breathing called pranayam every day so that you can give time to yourself. 80 days in a year, sit in sunlight with a formula of 40. And the formula of 40 is that 40 minutes a day, you need to expose your 40% of your body to sunlight. That's the formula. So 80 days in a year, sit on sunlight. Do not take alcohol. If you take and there is no contraindication, not more than 80 ml or 80 grams in a week. Do not smoke. If you take 80,000 will be the expenses required for any heart problem. If you do that, there are 80% chances by the age of 80, you will not develop any lifestyle disorder. If you develop it, then ask your doctor for 80 milligram of aspirin and 80 milligram of statin. You will not get a heart attack. If you get a heart attack, ask your doctor, is the blockage less than 80 or more than 80? If it is more than 80 and symptomatic, you need an intervention. Less than 80, go for medical treatment. You will not die. Even if you die, somebody will come back and teach you and save you using the formula of 10. And that is within 10 minutes of death, earlier the better, at least for the next 10 minutes, earlier the better. 10 into 10, at least with a speed of 100 per minute. Compress the center of the chest of a dead person effectively and continuously. And if you do that, a dead person may get revived. Now, this is a generalized universal formula. And the main universal formula, how do I know, is C-reactive protein less than 1, CRP less than 1. If your CRP is less than 1, vaccine cannot cause any reaction in you. If your CRP is less than 1, corona will not cause any reaction in you. All those patients who have died because of corona, they all had underlying inflammation. Corona came, it inflamed, increased the inflammation, ending up into systemic organ failure. So as on today, all of us, if we start living a non-inflammatory lifestyle, we will be able to live longer, happily, and healthy. Now, this is as far as the physical part. I will speak for another 10 minutes and then we will have question answers. The another part is, what about the mental stress? What about the fear? What about anger, hostility, depression? So what is stress? Stress is the reaction of the body and the mind to the interpretation of a situation. So if there is a stress, either you change the situation. अब कोरोना की सिचुएशन तो चेंज नहीं कर सकते, लॉकडाउन हो गया तो हो गया. You can't change the situation in corona if lockdown has happened. But you can change your interpretation. That means counseling, cognitive behavior therapy, discuss, find out solutions and not the problems. And third is keep your CRP less than 1. That is, change your lifestyle in such a way that nothing affects you. So for a mental health problem, if there is a stress, to manage that stress, keep your CRP less than 1, change the situation if you cannot change your interpretation. Now, how do I change my interpretation? There is a simple formula called Monday to Saturday formula. Because this video is going live, lots of things I have taught, you can re-watch them again and again. On Monday, try to live a life of non-violent communication. That means on Monday, you are not going to complain, you are not going to condemn, you are not going to criticize anybody. On Monday, you say, if somebody abuses you, say, I'll see you tomorrow. Today is my Monday fast. I cannot abuse you today. So on Monday, non-violent communication. You only communicate facts. No gossip on Monday. Today is a no gossip day. By that time, on Monday, you will purify your mind because you are not talking anything other than a fact. On Tuesday is a forget and forgiveness day. You talk to 25 people you have not talked to in the last 6 months. And on every Tuesday, you talk to somebody jisse aapki nahi banti, who is your enemy, who is your not a well-wisher, talk to him. Because that will clarify you. From my side, I am okay. If you don't like me, that's your concern, not mine. Make an effort on Tuesday to talk to those people who don't like you or you don't like them. Wednesday, distribute gifts every day. Every Wednesday, distribute non-materialistic gift. Anybody who meet, you say, very good, very good. How are you? You're looking very, very handsome. You are looking very gorgeous. Obviously, you know whom to speak and whom not to speak. But give them a compliment. Give them a smile. Give them a non-materialistic gift. On Thursday, think differently. Just think differently. Can this be like this? Can this be like this? Could I have done it like that? Just on Thursday, think differently. On Friday, enjoy the nature. Go back and see, today I want to see the butterflies. Today I want to see the birds. Today I want to hear the music of the fountain. So enjoy the nature on Friday. And on Saturday, whosoever meets you, just ask, how can I help you? That's all. On Saturday, ask everybody, how can I help you? That is called, Sunday is called as a cheating day. तो थोड़ी बहुत cheating allowed है. कि मंडे को उसने मुझे गाली बकी थी, मुझे उसको गाली बकनी है आज. So take out whatever is negative in you on Sunday. So Sunday is the cheating day. So Monday to Saturday you can do. And if I have to come back to one formula at the end, that is called as a formula of Saturday. And the formula of Saturday is, may I help you? Now, how does this may I help you helps you? So there are 4 yuga: Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kal Yuga. Satyug means truthfulness, devotion, that is tapasya, tap, pure thoughts, that is pavitrata. Daya and dan means charity and compassion. So if you have all 4 of them, you are a Satyugi. But sometimes you speak a lie, that's you are a Treta Yugi. But if you also speak a lie and also you are sluggish in your work and you say, who cares? Then you are a Dwapar Yugi. And if you are also negative in your thought, you are a Kal Yugi. If I ask all of you sitting here, who are you? All of you will say, I am a Kal Yugi because I'm living in Kal Yug. But how can a student of SPM college be a Kal Yugi? In Satyugi, we have Devta and Danav together. In Treta Yuga, we have Ram as well as Ravan. In Dwapar Yuga, we have Krishna as well as Kans. So in this Kal Yuga, there have to be somebody. All of them may be Kal Yugi, but some will be good people. Some persons will be good people. Why can't that be the students, staff, and teachers of SPM college? So SPM college should say that we are the Satyugi of Kal Yuga. We are in minority. Majority of the people speaks a lie, but we are Satyugi. Okay, so I said, become a Satyugi. You come back to Dr. K. Agarwal, give me a prescription. So I take a tablet and become a Satyugi. So all of you give you a prescription, and that is may I help you? You just put it on you wear this, may I help you? Now what happens is, when you wear as a prescription, may I help you? If anybody asks you for a help, if anybody asks for your help, truthfulness will come. You can't make a lie because you are asking, do you need a help? If he is asking for a help, now you can't say, I will not help you. Then he says, then why you are wearing this? So truthfulness comes. Hard work comes because now you have to do it. You can't say, I'm not going to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it with a pure mind. Compassion comes, charity comes. So if you want to become a Satyugi in Kal Yuga, just have the habit of asking everybody, may I help you? And therefore we say once in a week, we are not talking every day, every moment. Once in a week on Saturday, practice, may I help you? May I help you? May I help you? Now, if you can't help, say no. That's also, if you say, I will not be able to do, it's also a Satyugi no. It's not a Kal Yugi no. And provided you have made and intentionally told them why I am saying no. So if you really want to become a Satyugi in Kal Yuga, you have to follow the principle of Shama Prasad Mukherjee, and that is, may I help you, may I help you, may I help you. That's what I say as a doctor. Somebody asked me, how many dharam are there? How many religions are there? And I always say there is only one religion, and that is religion of humanity. And that religion is practiced by a word called, may I help you. If I put down that as a part of my life, I will develop. So if somebody has to ask me two take-home messages from today, keep your CRP less than 1, and may I help you. To do that, practice whatever you want. And another thing which I want to say is, if you can walk 500 meters in 6 minutes, that's fitness. So you are healthy, CRP less than 1. May I help you? Am I fit? If I can walk 500 meters in 6 minutes, I am fit. Over for question answers.
Thanks a lot, sir, for such a wonderful session. We are getting so many comments in the chat box that this is the best of the one of the best session they had till now. So, sir, every means many of the participants you can also see in the chat box. There is a really good session. Thanks, Dr. Gawal. Each one is full of so much knowledge and think they gain so much. So I just request uh, participants that they just ask the questions, and we are getting so many thankful messages. Thanks a lot, sir, for sparing so much of time instead of your busy schedule. And we really thank, sir. Please post your question in the chat box. In case you have any kind of question, just raise your hands. I can also unmute you all. Just put up your questions. Sir, uh, take a question.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time, because ma'am was saying that you are extremely busy, and we know that you are extremely busy. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your insightful lecture. Or we will keep in mind, may I help you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, there is only there is one now. Questions are coming, sir.
No problem. I'm here.
Please, you suggest the lifestyle for a differently able people.
So if you have a differently able people, exercise can be done whatever way you can, sitting, standing, lying. All exercises are possible. They are as good as an exercise. Build up your muscles, you can do that. Mentally, depending upon their level of mental health, those types of exercises can be done. Food habit remains the same. There is no change. Food habit remains the change.
So one more question: if we do exercise daily, then we need more food.
No, that's not correct. You need enough food to exercise, not more food to exercise. The reason being that you are not going to take a kg extra to reduce. So let me give you an example. If you go from 10 kilometers walk today, suppose you take 10 kilometers walk, or you take 1 hour of walk. If you take 1 hour of brisk walk, you will burn something like 5 calories in 1 minute. Okay, that will be 300 calories. And you come back and take, suppose, hot chocolate fudge, you will be 900 calories extra. If you walk for 1 hour, brisk walk for 1 hour, come back and eat one balu shahi or one mithai, you will be 100 calories extra. Okay, exercise you do to burn what you are taking. But if you are going to take much more than that, it is going to get deposited. After eating, if you feel energetic, that's what you need. But after eating, if you say, let me sleep for half an hour, it means your body never needed that lunch. That's what I'm trying to say. Those people who says when we exercise, we need more and more of food is before your height stops growing. For children, yes. For children, yes. For adults, you must eat less than your children. Now, those people who are talking about when we exercise, they are talking about muscle building. They are talking about muscle building. Muscle building, you need more protein, and muscle building should not be more than 5 kg of your weight extra. Anything more than 5 kg is not recommended. That's what we say.
So one more question. Please guide about how to combat.
And for life, if you can, remain like a lion. Whole life, if you can remain like a lion, then don't listen to me, whatever I'm saying, do what you want. The reason being, lion runs for 20 miles a day to catch a prey and eat. So if you run 20 miles a day, then whatever I have said is not applicable. It is applicable for those. A lion in the zoo is like what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a lion in a jungle. All of us are living in a zoo called a house. Everything is given to us. Everything is given to us in a plate. Similarly, a lion is given a food in his chamber in a zoo. He also will and get up, obeys, and he will also end up with a heart attack and die. So what I am talking about is military people eat a lot, but they exercise a lot also. Remember that if you exercise, then eating is fine. But in that eating, you must remember that none of the cricketers are given excess of refined carbohydrates. They eat a lot, but without refined carbohydrates, because that takes away their efficiency. They eat a lot because they exercise, but non-inflammatory diet.
Sir, only 2 more questions are there.
So please guide about how to combat metabolic disorder.
So if you want to combat a metabolic disorder, one thing is you need to burn white cells in the body. White means white fat cells in the body. And for that, exercise is a must. Walking is a must. Without walking, what will happen is that metabolics, if you only go to diet, metabolic syndrome will not progress, but will not regress. So do not progress is diet, regress it by exercise. Number 2, the best exercise for metabolic syndrome is weight strengthening. If you strengthen your muscles, your metabolic syndrome will go away. So I tell all my friends and all my followers, if you want to cure yourself of osteoarthritis, obesity, heart attack, metabolic syndrome, every day in the evening, 7 o'clock to 7:30 p.m., watch Dr. K.K. Agarwal live on YouTube and Facebook. If you do that, you will never get, all your diseases will get slow down. And there is a catch there. And the catch is, watch Dr. K.K. Agarwal on YouTube every day from 7 to 7:30, but sitting on a cycle, and that cycle must continue till my program is over. So it has to be a stationary cycle. If you sit on a sofa and then watch my program, your diabetes will worsen. So sit on a stationary cycle, watch my program and cycle. Till my program is running, you are cycling. And that takes care of metabolic syndrome. पहले हम बोलते थे सास वो है घर घर की कहानी सुनो वो देखो, but अब हम बोलते हैं मेरा वीडियो देखो. So if you exercise half an hour every day, remember, cycling is better than exercising. Cycling is better than walking. Cycling and swimming are the 2 muscle strengthening exercises which can take away all disorders which we have spoken today, including COVID-19 severity.
Sir, one
last question.
which fruits are good for heart if anyone has blockage problem?
So if you have a blockage problem, bring your CRP to less than 1. Bring your LDL bad cholesterol to less than 50 if possible. Walk at least 500 meters in 6 minutes. To do that, 50% of your diet should be fruits and vegetables. And rest 50% you balance out your food. Do not take refined carbohydrates. Do not take trans fat at all. Do not take trans fat at all. I say there are 2 types of heart attack. One is called chini chawal maida heart attack. That is because of you eat a lot of sugar, maida and rice. The second one is called ghee tel makhan heart attack. That means you take a lot of butter, oil and ghee. Depending upon what is your cause, we restrict them. Ghee, butter and oil should not be more than half kg per person per month. And take out chini chawal maida from your diet and take wheat out of your diet 80 days in a year. With that, you will become healthy. And the idea is that everybody has to die. You should die young in old age. That's the basic purpose.
Thanks a lot, sir, for such a wonderful insight and your variable suggestions and all. I think everyone is so much overwhelmed and satisfied. I think they are going to practice the Monday to Saturday, and from Monday onwards, they are not going to say anything, any gossip and all. And even I am going to use this concept from Monday to Friday. And as tomorrow is Sunday, so my day starts with cheating day. So I take this privilege to start with cheating day. But from Monday onwards, I'll seriously, we take New Year resolution, but as this is not beginning of the new year, but yes, this is 2021 and this is new week, and we are real, and especially I am going to practice this. Thank you, sir, so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A small request to the participants, just be with us for a while.
Sir, you can off your.
All the participants are requested to fill the feedback forms. We are very shortly going to share the Excel file, those who have submitted the feedback form and the quizzes. In case you are not able to feed or there is some confusion regarding the submission of feedback form and the quizzes, you can check your details from there, and please fill the quiz and the feedback form by this Sunday only. Next, and in case of any query regarding assignment and all, assignment submission time is till Monday evening. Till Monday evening, you can submit your assignments. So in case you have any kind of doubt or query, just please post in the chat box regarding assignment, quizzes and feedback forms. Everything is being open till Monday. You can fill each and everything. And tomorrow is no session. So just try to fill up all quizzes, feedback form and the assignments. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. The assignments will be shared as per the requirement of the FDP. So now till now we are going to have 3 assignments. The first is being shared with you. The second will be shared soon, and the third will be shared after 2 weeks. After every 2 or 3 in a particular 1 week, we have 3 assignments. So 1 is being shared and 2 will be shared soon. For a second assignment is going to be shared by today evening also on the group itself. And the third will be shared later on. And there will be a final quiz, which will be the from all of these sessions which has been so far. Thank you so much. I don't think there is any other query, and still we all are there on discussion forum on the mail. We are replying each and every query as much as possible for us. Yes, first assignment is being shared. They are on the Telegram group. In case you are still not on the Telegram group, please mail us on the given mail ID. We are going to reply the mails on that. The guidelines will be shared soon for the assignments on the Telegram group. You need not to upload the assignment. The assignment are going to be submitted on the mail ID which is being mentioned on the brochure. With the mail ID with which you people are communicating, the mail of the confirmation has been sent to you all. So there is no need to upload, just mail us on the FDP mail ID, which we have given to you. We will share, Priyanka, we will share the assignments on the Telegram group. In case you are not on the Telegram group, just mail us on FDP mail ID. We are going to share the details of the assignment there. Okay then. No, Monday is not the deadline for all the assignments. For the deadline and for the guidelines, we are going to float a message on the group itself. Okay. Thanks again. Thanks a lot. Please use discussion forum for all your queries. We're trying our best to answer each and every query. Thanks a lot.